that send-off for them this afternoon.
And to have those upperclassmen bring the leadership, bring the character to what is a very young group, tied for the youngest in the Big Ten as Kimball tries a 3-ball. Williams brings in the rebound. So important for this Badgers team, so important for Coach Mosley to have that veteran presence in the locker room who can help lead these youngsters, and she has done nothing but speak so highly of those upperclassmen.
Absolutely. I mean, it means a lot. And the same for Robin Fralick. She said, you know, her seniors have really shown everyone what it means to be a Spartan, and they've taken a tremendous amount of pride in that. So that goes hand in hand as well, being an example.
Absolutely. And here, Spartans come up with the ball, 22-point lead, looking to close this out in this fourth quarter. Now keep in mind, Big Ten tournament implications on the line. Nice take by Halleck, won't go, because Michigan State with a win gives themselves at least a chance to slide into that fourth spot and earn the double bye in the Big Ten tournament. And don't forget, Illinois-Nebraska coming up right after this. So however Nebraska finishes and how this game finishes are going to determine where those two teams are seated. So a lot on the line in these two matchups.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I know the tournament doesn't begin until Wednesday, but you know, this almost feels like a tournament game in terms of the desperation on some of these plays, a little back and forth, a little extracurricular physical activity.
Aralt with a strong take. One of the players bringing the intensity.
Yeah, but she stays so stoic, right? You're not going to see it on her face much. I mean, she'll get excited here and there, but she'll just glide right in there and do what she does. And she is magnificent at that.
Aralt now with 17 points, just behind Joyner, who has 20 to lead the way for the Spartans. Over here finds Schremek. Spinning, can't get it to go.
It's a tough look, just off balance, leaning away from that one, but I like the intentionality of attacking the basket. That's what Wisconsin needs to do more of. They can't rely on outside shots at this juncture. They've got to attack the painted area.
After starting out strong, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, they're now 5 of 14. The Badgers falling to just about 36% from deep. That shot won't go.
Let's see if they can get into some quick score opportunities here. Maybe get that stagger action. They got the skip pass on this one.
Brady's shot is short. They wrote the board.
Just Williams in there for the offensive rebounds, and that's something that Wisconsin has been very good at, getting to the offensive boards, but you got to send more than one body in there, especially when you are down in this game. Try to maximize your opportunities and your possessions by doing that.
One way they've got to maximize better is just the turnovers. 23 for Wisconsin. This is their 3rd straight game with 20 or more turnovers.
Yeah, can't do that. 24 points off those turnovers, too. For Michigan State, Aralt with the up fake on Williams to Freezer, and then got by, attacked the hip and the closeout. And that little freeze move, I'm telling you, it does wonders. It's very basic, and it seems so simple, like, coach, I don't know. Freeze them and move them, and that's how you do it.
Alex' shot comes up short. And the one thing about Aralt playing in that position where she's now going up against a lot of 5s, she has that advantage in terms of the speed.
Absolutely.
Deep 3 from Schremek goes.
And there she is, right? And maybe they are going to look for some 3s here. You know, and what happened when they knocked in those 3s early is that it freed up some space inside for Sarah Williams to be individually covered. So they couldn't dig down and try to get that ball on her or dig down prior to the catch. We'll see if Michigan State makes an adjustment there.
Coach Mosley pointed out they're expecting the double on Williams, but the players around her have to move the ball, and they have to hit some shots from outside. You have to in order to take some of that pressure off.
No question. But it also changes the defensive scheme by Michigan State and what they do and how they do it, when they're going to double and blitz inside.
Joyner here on the handoff. Aralt on Williams, been the showcase of the day. Joyner step back, sent out of play.
Well, if you can't beat her, Joyner. Here's the block. Oh, cleanly sent out of bounds defensively by Wisconsin. Even off balance, you recover like that and you can still get a clean block on it. It's nicely executed.
Freshman Grady came in with only 2 blocks on the season, almost sent that one to the street. As there is a shot clock violation, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there between the Spartans. Tate with her hands on her head. Grady, too strong. Williams there for the putback, but couldn't get the roll.
Yeah, those second chance opportunities, if you're going to get it, you got to pay it off.
Hagman turning on the Jets, drawing the foul. Coming up, the women's hoops doubleheader continues as the Huskers take on the Fighting Illini next, only on the Big Ten Network in the Fox Sports app. Once again, keep in mind a lot of seeding implications based on the outcomes of this matchup and the next one between Nebraska and Illinois. The Illini, though, a team that have been coming on strong down the stretch, performing more of how a lot of folks expected them to starting the season, considering they returned 5 starters, but that could be a game.
Yeah, 92% of their offense returned from last year, and they were slow out of the gates because now everyone understood their scheme and took the three-point shots away or pressured them into taking tougher threes, and that changed their dynamic offensively. But how about the win for Illinois over Indiana most recently? So, yes, they're surging at the proper time.
Trying working inside. Leitzinger finds Williams. Williams rises up. No. Hagman the board. Illinois, though, just dealt a loss at the hands of Michigan State on Thursday, but just a credit to how great the Spartans have been playing down this stretch. The 4-game win streak, we pointed out some of the numbers as Joyner's shot is offline.
You know, only giving up 63 points to opponents over their 4-game win streak, and that's the kind of traction you want, right? 4 games and hopefully 5 as the clock winds down if you're a Spartan fan. Headed into the tournament with some velocity.
Michigan State shot more than 53% against Illinois. That helps too with the velocity. Ball out of play though here on the other end. Checking out of the game there is Joyner, who has led the charge, 20 points. 6 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Can't talk enough about what she has done for this team and for this program as Ayrault tries to go up. Whistle blows, though, on the foul.
Yeah, Julia Ayrault had that little pity-pat dribble trying to get Williams frozen once again off the bounce, and then took it right up into her collarbone and challenged her right at the rack. Just love the wisdom of that move. She sized her up, had her away from the basket, decided to put it on the deck and attack.
Seems like Ayrault just has such a high basketball IQ. She reads the game really well.
It's her experience, right? I mean, there's no real remedy for that. I mean, experience is the best teacher. You've heard that before, but it truly is. I mean, with Williams being a sophomore, she's at the mercy of that on that matchup.
Williams, though, such a promising player, was named to the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year watch list a few weeks ago, which goes to one of the top defenders in college basketball. Ayrault with a takeaway. Trying to find Hagman. Porter able to get in the passing lane. 3 ball is true. Lauren Ross getting into the game, getting onto the score sheet.
Hagman lost her shoe on that one too, and they're having a little giggle about that right now. But this play, sometimes you have to break a play to make a play, and Michigan State has been making a lot of plays here on the road.
It's all about Spartan Pride. We all have it.
That's why we kiss the floor. The reason that tradition is so important is because I made it through.
It's all about Spartan pride. We all have it.
That's why we kiss the floor. The reason that tradition is so important is because I made it through. I made it through.
Michigan State fans, you won't want to miss the big story Kissing the Floor, Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Yeah, the Michigan State Spartans, the women's team just did that the other day. So a lot of pride in that moment for sure.
Joyner kissing the floor, Tori Osment kissing the floor to the graduate students. Find those pictures in the team social media pages as that one goes out, but just such an emotional experience for the Spartans team. But it's been fueling them here in Madison, 73-45, Michigan State on top. Alrighty, thanks Justine and the ladies. Looking forward to that and to the second game of this doubleheader. And now this Wisconsin team got to experience something really special recently. They got to meet with the family of former Wisconsin head coach Edwina Qualls, who was the coach for 10 seasons starting back in 1976. Unfortunately, Coach Mosley said they had planned to meet with her in person. She wanted her to talk with the team, but sadly she passed back on February 19th. She was the first black head women's basketball coach in Big Ten history, a trailblazer in the sport, someone they really, really look up to, and there was a moment of silence held before this game in honor of her life and everything she's done.
Yes.
Christy, in your eyes, what was the legacy that Qualls left behind?
Everything that we see right now, right? We're looking at Marissa Mosley on the sideline, right? Me sitting over here. It's just impactful. You could say so many different things, but when you see her, you can be her. And that's what she meant for so many, not just here in Wisconsin, but across the board in our game.
And kudos to Coach Mosley for making sure her players understand that legacy and understand what she has accomplished, and all of the women who came before them who've also opened the door on both the coach side and the player side.
For sure, and you think of C. Vivian Stringer as well as another trailblazing black woman who has just stood on business. And I remember C. Vivian Stringer saying she would go to churches asking for donations so that her team at Cheney State could afford shoes to play in the games. So the game has come a long way, but it's on the shoulders of women like that and Coach Qualls and everyone who has come along the way to do their best for the greater good of the game and for the women who are continuing to follow them and see the example that they've set.
Tate finishing off the play on the other end. It's important not to forget where you came from and those who really paved the way for you to be to where you are. So kudos to this Wisconsin team and Coach Mosley for speaking with her family and, you know, visiting with them and talking about her life and just keeping that legacy alive, honoring her before this game.
Well, there was a great interview with Fox like a day before she passed, and you need to go and look that up and read it. It's very poignant, and it speaks to exactly what we're talking about. And see, Vivian Stringer said, you can't go anywhere if you don't know where you came from, and that's a great starting point, is to read the foundational moment that she had here for 10 seasons from 1976 to 1986 on the sidelines for the Badgers. And the men's team also just honored Howard Moore yesterday here, one of the assistant coaches who lost his wife and daughter in a car accident. He was an assistant coach here, but just a lot of emotion, but a lot of connectivity for the family here in Wisconsin.
Absolutely. His first time back at the Qualls Center as Leitzinger tries a three. Great to see continuing to honor the history of this game and how we got to this point in the sport on both the men's and women's side. Back underway here, it's the seniors getting a little bit of love. There's Vanderpool into the game, playing out there on the elbow on senior day for the Badgers as Tate tries it down low.
Good aggression. I mean, Michigan State has come in here and they have run the table when it comes to fast break points. A 20-0 advantage on fast break points. You heard Studio talking about that as well with the 14 steals.
There, the freshman Anna Guillaume getting involved there. Nice little finish at the cup.
We're talking about this Michigan State team that came into this game averaging 9 steals, but 14 is pretty incredible in terms of aggression on the defensive end.
Alec Trips, though, goes to the ground. Working inside is Robinson. Whistle blows there as Wisconsin gets ready to make a substitution. Mena's back into the game. But that's one of the things that Coach Mosley was really eyeing for her Wisconsin team, is trying to slow down the Spartans in transition. And here we have the seniors walking off, checking out, being honored by the crowd. Round of applause as they went back to the bench, and just a lot of respect. Some hugs over there on the bench. Almost gets you a little bit emotional because you just see the amount of love in this Wisconsin program.
And you understand the journey of it all and the hard work that goes into it. You don't just show up.
Jimenez there knocking down the triple. This Wisconsin team continuing to battle, down 25, but certainly not giving up. Continuing to show that fight and that spirit that Coach Mosley wants them to embody. This is still very early in the build of the foundation that she wants to create for this Badgers program. Pointing out they are so young. Youngest team tied with Minnesota in the Big Ten in terms of roster composition, so there is still a lot of room for growth.
No doubt. I mean, they're 13 and 14 coming into this game, headed into the tournament. And there's another senior moment here for the Badgers. Big hugs all around.
Leitzinger with a hug, sharing that moment with Coach Mosley, hopefully sinking it all in as Grady gets ready to check back into the game. Spartans also trying to soak it in as their senior day was their last game on Thursday. So it's just that time of year where there is a lot of emotion, something that Coach Freilich and Michigan State Sports Information Director Kara Fisher said is that they had a little conversation actually before senior day where they allowed players to share things about each other, had a little sharing circle, as there's another emotional moment on the sideline here for the Badgers. But those are the moments that you look back and you remember. Not even necessarily the wins and losses, but the moments with teammates. Back underway here at Qualls Center, 76-50 the score. Michigan State holding on to the lead, looking for a double bye in the Big Ten tournament. Depending on how Nebraska finishes off the second matchup of the day. And there's 2 points. Vanderpool getting on the score sheet on senior day. Graduating early, just 3 years for her. Very impressive as Halleck gets to the cup. Vanderpool checking out of the game.
Take a look right here. A nice little turnaround jumper, and then look at the bench. Oh, they love to see it. That's a family member right there, giving her all that great juju, great energy. You love to see it.
Absolutely. Again, listed on the roster, she's a redshirt sophomore based on eligibility, but she will be moving on after graduating from Wisconsin. And of course, everyone in the program just so appreciative of each of their seniors' contributions. Alec loses the handle there. Sophomore guard Lily Cron into the game, handling the basketball. Freshman Lita Patty Bandla handling it as well, getting some time here. Some good experience for some of the youngsters on this Wisconsin roster. Jimenez gets a little bit caught up there. 11-second differential here between the game clock and shot clock. Last regular season matchup as that three ball will miss everything.
It was a deep water triple right there. That was Clark range on that one. Like 3 steps behind the line. But Michigan State just solid all around. Both sides of the floor, they managed extremely well and executed with pinpoint, surgical execution on both sides.
There's the final buzzer. Michigan State victorious in Madison, 78-52, the final score. The Spartans forcing 25 turnovers